tomorrow's quiz dealing with what we're talking about now. All right, so we talked Friday. The centroid breaks the median up into what? A ratio of what? 2 to 1. Well, here's what I want to do today. I just want to take random segments and break them up into different ratios, other than 2 to 1. Okay, and have you guys find those points. All right, so this first one right here, everyone, I have line segment AB. I want to try to find a point with you that breaks this up into a ratio of, let's say, 2 to 3. Okay, I want to find a point on AB that breaks it up into a ratio of 2 to 3. First place we need to start, everyone. First place is how many equal parts am I going to have to break it up into then? If I want to find a point that breaks it up into 2 pieces to the left and 3 pieces to the right, how many equal pieces am I going to need to break it up into? How many? 5. Everyone agree? 5. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. I got to break it up into 5 total. So do your best right now. Put points on the segment that break it up into 5 little segments. You don't need compass, straight edge, or nothing for this. We don't even need the darn compass today. It's just going to be a distraction. So hopefully you guys are breaking this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone broken up into 5 equal pieces. All right. Put a point P at one of those points that'll break it up into 2 to 3. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Label one of those points point P that does it. And hopefully we're all putting point P on the second one that you made. Does everyone see how this is working? Ready? 2 congruent pieces to the left, 3 congruent pieces to the right. All good? All right, let's do a couple more different ratios. Can you give me one that's going to be 1 to 2? 1 to 2. Break up your line segment 1 to 2. So how many equal parts are you first breaking it up into? How many equal parts? 3. Good. And again, I don't care what it looks like. Break it up into 3 parts for me that look the same. And then put a point P on one of those points that make it into 1 to 2. Are we all putting it on the first point that you made? Point P. 1 to 2. Any questions? I want to go a little quicker now. Next one. What did I have? 4 to 1. 4 to 1. So your line segment first should be broken up into how many pieces? 5 equal pieces, hopefully. And where are we putting point P to make it 4 to 1? Are we putting it on the last point you made? Point P. That's not too bad, right? All right, 2 more just to make sure we got the hang of it. Can you guys go 2 to 5? 2 to 5? Break it up. Find me a point that breaks AB up into a ratio of 2 to 5. Seven congruent parts. All right, 7 congruent parts with point P on the second one. You made anyway, or the third one overall? All good. I got one more here for you. No, I just made the line slanted. Sorry. Hopefully that doesn't mess with you. Last one. Let's go 1 to 3. Give me a point that breaks AB up into a ratio of 1 to 3. Again, what's the first thing you're doing? Breaking up AB into 4 congruent parts. Yep. And then putting point P on the first point. I'm surprised nobody challenged me or had a question in this group. I'm surprised the way we did all these. I'm surprised no one raised their hand and say, why are you always starting from A? Why can't I do it from B? What's the problem starting with B? Right? Why couldn't I do a ratio of 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 going from point B and call this point P? Why not, right? Here's the reason why. And this will always be in the directions, okay? Take a look above. You're going to see the word directed, okay? Directed. So if I say directed line segment AB, that means my starting point is A. If I said directed line segment BA, guess where I would start from? B. Okay, so you will see that in the directions what point you should start from. All right, it'll say directed line segment, then name it. All right, whatever the first point is, that's where I start. Unfortunately, I wish this was today's class and that's all you did. But now we got to put AB on a graph. And then you actually give me the point, the XY point that breaks it up, the ratio I wanted. That's what we're doing today. Is taking line segment AB, throwing it on a graph and saying, all right now, kids, where would point P be to be a ratio of 2 to 3? Give me the X and the Y. So here we go. Make sure your calculator's all fired up, turned on. All right, I'll give you a second. Go ahead and graph point AB. And we will talk. All right, and as you read the directions, you'll start seeing the term there. Find the coordinates of the point on the directed line segment AB. So I know I'm going from A to B. I'm starting point at A, finishing at B. That breaks this up into a ratio of 2 to 3. Now, I wish it was this easy, guys, just like it was on the previous page, just to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then circle the second point, right? I wish it was that easy. All right, we got to do a little math behind it, though. So here we go. First thing I always asked you when you were doing it by hand on the last page is, what do I need to break AB up into? How many equal parts here? 5. Everyone agree? 5 equal parts. But this has an X and a Y coordinate, right? So the first thing I'm going to do with you is I'm going to break up the X-axis into 5 congruent parts. The X values into 5 congruent parts. So the first thing I need to know is how long is the X-axis from -3 to 2? From A to B, how long is this line segment on the X-axis? That's what I need from somebody right now. I started at -3 at A and went to 2 to get to B. You can count it or you can just do the math from -3 to 2 in your head. Jackson, how far did I go? 5. Everyone agree I went 5? Yep. So I need to break that 5 units it took into how many equal parts, did you tell me? What do we got to break this line segment up into? 5 equal parts. So I got to take those 5 units and break it up into 5 equal parts. Are we okay why it's 5 units from A to B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the X-axis. All right, so to do that, it's going to be how many units each time? How many units each time? 1 unit, right? So here's what you're doing. Ready? I go 1 unit on the X-axis. Break it up. 1 unit. 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 I'm at the end. So every time I go 1 unit on the X-axis, I'm breaking it up. Oh, but wait! How many times do I have to go 1 unit to get to that 2 to 3 point? We go back. Where's my, there it is. You went how many times? 1, 2. So I'm just not going 1 unit. I have to go how many total units to get to the point I need? How many times do I need to go 1 unit? Twice, right? 2. I got to get to that second point. So I got to go twice, which tells me you need to go 2 total units to get there. 2 total units. Because you need a point that's 2 to 3. So that's why I'm going 1 unit and then another 1 unit. All right. So I know I have to go 2 total units. Where did I start from on the x-axis? Yeah, A, thank you. But what x coordinate did I start with? Where am I starting on the x-axis from? -3. And you got to move how many units? 2. Where do you end up on the x-axis? Okay, there's coordinate x. Now I got to go through and do this all for y again. I broke it up into 5 congruent parts, and I got to go 1 unit 2 times from -3, and that leaves me at -1. It's going to be uncomfortable for this first one until we get more under our belt. Here you go. Let's do it for the y's now. Now go to your y coordinates. Count if you need to, or do it from -4 to 0. How many units from A to B on the y-axis now? On the y-axis. How many units am I going via? 4, right? -4. Darn it, count it. 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. Or -4 to 0 is 4 units. All right, it's not going to get pretty here, but thankfully we have our calculators. You still need to break that up into how many equal parts? 5, right? Just like you did for the x-axis. You got to break it up into 5 equal parts. So I'm not going 1 unit every time. I'm going how many units? 0.8 units every time. 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8 if you want to break it up into 5 equal parts. But how many times are you going to go 0.8 units? Still? Twice. Still twice. Not 3 times, twice, right? You got to get to that 2, the second point. So I go 0.8. That's only 1 point. Then I go 0.8 again. So I need to go, again, 0.8 2 times. It all depends on what the ratio is. In this case, it was 2 to 3. And you guys know I got to get to the second point. So how many total units do I need to travel? 1.6 total units. From what starting point again? Where did I start now on the y-axis at A? Where did you start on the y-axis? Point A, what's the y coordinate? -4. So I need to go -4 plus 1.6 units. And that'll leave me where? -2.4. So now we put this all together. What's my point that's going to cut this into a ratio of 2 to 3? What was my x coordinate? -1, and my y coordinate? -2.4. Now the benefit to graphing. Shouldn't this point be on the actual line segment? Right? This point should be. If it's not, we did something wrong. So let's take a quick peek. If you go -1 to the left, down 1, 2.4. Yeah, we're pretty much, yeah, it lands right there for us. Looks pretty darn good too. All right, and then, 2 to 3 looks pretty good. That longer, this right side should be longer because it's got 3 parts. So one definitely doesn't make you great. We got to have another one in us before I let you go in your group or individually. Any questions about here? Guys, all I'm going to do is change the ratio. That's it. The process will stay the same. All I'm doing to you is changing the ratio. That's it. All right, moving on. Here we go. Negative 2, 5. Two, 1, 2. Less talking by me on this one and more from you guys. All right, ready? First thing in your mind, I need a point that breaks it up from A to B, directed line segment AB. So start at A, go to B. 4 to 1. How many equal parts?
5.
Okay, still 5, right? Still 5, just a different ratio. So first, let's cut our x-axis up into 5 equal parts. You need to find out how long it is from A to B on the x-axis. And this is where I turn it over to the numbers now. How long is it from A to B on the x-axis? Count it on your graph or do the math from the x coordinates. Okay, here we go. 7, how far am I going here? From negative 2 to 2. Great job. 4 units. 4 units, 4 units. And everyone just told me how many equal parts do I need to divide that up into? Here we go. Divide by 5. Each time you want to break it up, you're going to go 0.8. Good. Now remember last problem I had to go twice. Well, I'm going, how many do I need to go here? I need to go 0.8. Not good enough. 0.8. Not good enough. 0.8. Not good enough. 0.88. How many times do I have to go 0.8 units? 4, right? 4. Get to that fourth point. 4. So I need to go 0.8 units 4 times now. And how many total units do I need to go then? 3 point. And remember, this isn't where you end up. This is how many units you need to go from the start. So that's why I keep writing total units every time. This is not where you end up. This is how far you got to go. All right, question to somebody. Where did I start on the x-axis? Where did I start? 12, where did I start on the x-axis? So from negative 2, I go 3.2 units. And I end up at 1.2? Yeah? Everyone's good so far? All right, we're going to get a little crazy here with the y coordinate. All right, I may run into some trouble. Just to give you a heads up, I may run into some trouble doing the y coordinate. We'll see. All right, y coordinate. Distance between the y coordinates, so I can cut it up by 5. Distance between the y coordinates. 7, distance between the y coordinates. 8 units, good. I got to divide that up by 5. Yeah, no problems. What do you guys got there? 1.6 if I remember correctly. 1.6 units. I got to go. But again, is it just 1.6 and I'm done? No, how many times do you have to go 1.6? Everyone, just making sense now because I got to get to that fourth point. So I got to go 1.6 4 times. 4 times. Oh boy, you got to help me out there. 6 something? 6.4? All right, you ready? Where did you start point A on? Where on the y-axis did you start point A? Where did I start? 21, where did I start point A? 5, good. So from 5, I might have a problem. I might have a problem when I check this. 11.4? 11.4? Way up here. Is that even on the line segment? So that can't be right. Can't be 11.4. Sorry, we're wrong. Everyone understand why? That's not even on the darn line segment. Not even close. My point needs to happen on the line segment. So what did I do wrong? Well, look, as you go from A to B, are you going up on the y-axis? No, I'm going to go down. So maybe I shouldn't have done this. Instead, what should I have done? Darn right, subtract it. So I got to watch out for that. If I'm going down, I got to subtract. So get rid of that 11.4. We're at negative 1.4, right? Now, let me just give you a little tip, because some of you may not notice that, and I understand that, and that's fine. You don't notice that it goes down, and you might just add and forget about it and go. Here's what else you could have done to ensure you would have subtracted. As you go from A to B, my first question was, how many units did you go? Where am I going? Down 8. So if you wanted to start out by, oh, I'm going down 8, make this negative 8. Watch how it would have affected the problem. What's your 1.6 going to be now? Negative 1.6. What would have been your 6.4? And what would you end up doing? Adding negative 6.4 or just subtracting it? Yes. So if that helps you out at the beginning that you're going down, make the distance negative. Okay? So my final point here, what do I have? 1.2, negative 1. How's that look on the line? Let's see, 1.2 down 1.4. Yeah, it looks like right about on the line there, right? Right before 2. Right about here. And then again, remember, what's my ratio? What was my ratio I wanted? Oh, yes. This left side should be a lot longer, right? 4-to-1. Looks pretty good. You and your group are on your next one. Let's go. I'll walk around when you think you have the correct coordinate. Let me know. And then I'll let you go to the next one. You can talk it over with people in your group only. Figure out, again, how many equal parts do I need? 3 to 7. Woo! Here we go. Let's go.
So it's back, so and over.
An individual, if you just wanted to take a look at it because you're done and you want to move on, I can do that too. It doesn't have to be a full group to be done. And yes, you will get decimals here.
Isn't it just -2 for
Why you multiply it by 10? You don't have to go all the way. You just got to go to that third point, right? Right.
Yeah.
Again, you think you got it? Let me know. I'll just pop right over. I just got to look at the point. You'll have 2 of these on tomorrow's quiz. 2 of these. 2 partition questions on tomorrow's quiz, along with all your vocabulary. Take the gap count. -4.
So I always just like
Yeah.
Start with -2. 1.8 plus -3 is not 1.8.
Get stuck, let me know. Keep going, next one, next one, next one. Good, next one.
subtract.
The y part goes left side.
Yeah, 20. Good, here we go. We get 6 divided by 10, right? Okay, 0.6, 3 times 1.8, and then what do we get here? It's 0.7. Sure, it's 0.2, that's -2, right? Plus 1.8. Should be a positive 0.2. Yep. Now do the same thing for your watts, on 1 to 5, how many units will go, okay? You divide it up into equal parts, it's 3 to 7.
Because then you do the brand.
Okay, there you go. Yep, and now you're gonna go how many times 0.4?
Y over
3 times, so that'll show you how many total units you're going from the start.
Yeah.
Make sure you're every final, whatever it is. Thank you.
-3 minus.
Good, next one, Adrian, go. Okay, next one. Okay, hold on. That rate you're going up, right? So you should be adding.
Well, we got -1.8.
Start, we'll go, keep going, start. Yep, go ahead, go.
Yeah. Oh, that we just added.
Next one.
Oh, it's just not
Okay,
on
so
the
you got
line.
We just added.
-0.2, right? And then 2.2 here. Okay, just write it as the final coordinate, make sure it's on the line, which it is, and let's go.
If you already did negative, right?
Yeah.
Now it's 0.8. I don't know where 0.8 came from. 1.8 plus -2 doesn't.
Yeah.
Everything's fine, it's just you're adding that last
Yeah.
step. One, maybe one, yeah. Go.
Oh, okay.
That didn't start the homework.
We did the work.
As people are finishing up those examples, you will have two on the quiz tomorrow, and I'm not gonna trick you. It'll be point A, I don't know what the points will be, but it'll be break it up into this ratio, that's it. Nothing fancy.
Okay, so do we, easier way. Oh, yeah, could we do the midpoint?
There we go, I was wondering what somebody was gonna talk about. Same on the one is. But I don't care either, now you have 2 different ways. There you go.
You're adding this.
Three.
Oh my. Now, look how much it's doing what we just did. No. So, graphing it makes it easier. This is on the quiz tomorrow.
2 questions. 2 dividing up the line segment questions, correct. I believe it's in the 30s. It will be 34 points. All right, I'm just going to stop everyone here, all right, so I can talk about the quiz tomorrow. That is homework tonight. If you haven't heard me already, there will be 2 dividing up the line segment questions, all right, just like you're doing right now, 2 of them. The rest is all on your vocabulary. In-center, circumcenter, centroid, all the facts and how they're formed. You will not, let's not pack up yet, you will not have a construction to do tomorrow. No constructions. Okay, but you better know those vocabulary terms down cold and what they do. That's what Delta Math is for. Okay, the Delta Math questions provide a lot of different vocabulary questions. All right, so I'll be here after school if you want to stop by. But guys, you got to know your vocabulary. Look back at your notes. Look back at your old homework. If you want to take a look, sorry, Colin, real quick. In your packet, take a look in your packet real quick. Pages 20 and 21. A summary for the quiz. I even did my own chart for it. Okay, so pages 20 and 21, good summary for the quiz, and then along with 2 questions on dividing the line segment up that we did today in class. Okay, 34 points. You know where I'll be if you want to get some practice in. But I will be checking this homework tomorrow and answering any questions before we take the quiz. Know those vocabulary terms. In-center, circumcenter, what's so great about it? How are they formed? Check your answers on Classroom, please. For tonight's homework.